In this video, I'm going to be going over the truth about Andrew Tate. So let's just jump right into it. Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Noah, back again with another YouTube video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I help people awaken to their true abilities through wellness and spirituality, aka Noah's Ark. And we have fun on this channel each and every single day with every single YouTube video that I post. So I'm very grateful for each and every one of you guys for stopping by, because this is going to be probably one of my most controversial videos that I've ever made on my channel, because it includes one name, and that name is Andrew Tate. And before I go into this video is actually going to go into a playlist of a certain series that I do on this channel called The Truth About. And what that entails, it pretty much is my own views and takes on specific subjects and topics that I am interested in. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer right here because I think that it's important to understand that the takes that I say in this specific video are not going to appease everybody. You know, my opinion is going to be very different from yours. And I want you to understand that you don't have to agree with what I say in this video. In fact, if you disagree with anything that I say in this video, that is 100% okay. You know, I'm not 100% right. I'm not claiming to be 100% right. I am just speaking my perspective. I'm speaking my truth. And I am grateful to be able to share my opinion and my perspective on this specific subject. The goal for these series of videos is to expand your mind a little bit and challenge your belief systems. You know, I feel like it's important for us to change our perspectives on things, right? Because that's how we can learn and we can start to grow when we start challenging our belief systems. You know, this is how we evolve and we grow into amazing humans. And so I wanted to start the video with that because I think it's important to understand that before I go into this video. And so if you disagree with that, with this video, anything that I say, that's 100% okay. If you agree with anything in this video, that's also 100% okay. You know, I just make these videos for, like I said, to challenge your mind, open your perspective, maybe expand your consciousness a little bit, as well as just for entertainment, because I enjoy making videos for you guys. Without further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Andrew Tate has been one of the biggest names on the internet within this past year and a half. And there's a lot of viewpoints that I have on him. You know, I remember me first seeing this guy on TikTok for the very first time, and I was like, oh, who is this guy, you know? And so I clicked on the page, brought me to a bunch of different clips with him in it, and I didn't really know what to think about him at first. His videos were interesting, to say the least. They were very intriguing to me. And as you guys know, I love somebody who challenges the mainstream narrative, no matter what it is, right? And one thing that I can say about this guy is that it is great that he is spreading awareness and he is challenging the mainstream narrative, and he's challenging, you know, what a lot of people claim to be true that isn't necessarily true, right? I'm all for people who are very polarizing, right? Because I myself am very polarizing, right? And what does polarizing mean? Polarizing means when you are your true authentic self and you're not trying to fake being anybody in front of a camera. You know, you are your true authentic self, you state your own opinions and you stand by them. And that is something that I agree with when we're talking about Andrew Tate, because I feel like it's important to stand by your values, you know what I mean? Stand by your belief systems, and this guy obviously does. A couple things that I really enjoy about this guy is that he's very charismatic, you know, he's very entertaining. And I'm not gonna lie, he's very funny. I know that he's done a lot of good in the world. I know that he feeds a lot of children who don't have access to a lot of food in certain countries. And I know that generally he has done a lot of good things for young men, you know, in terms of masculinity. There's a lot of views on his takes when he talks about, you know, just improving your self-worth that I agree with. Now, that being said, I also don't like how he caters this mindset that you need riches, you need to have a lot of women, you know, you need to have a very high status. I don't necessarily agree with that aspect of his viewpoints, you know, because I think there's a lot of different qualities that make up a true man, you know, and that make up a responsible and an amazing person in general, right? Not just what your status is, not just how much money you have, what type of cars you drive, and how many women you have, right? I think that there's a lot more that goes into that character, into your character specifically as men, and that I don't necessarily agree with. Something that I also think is important is he caters towards a young audience of men, you know, and a lot of his videos, I'm not gonna lie, they're very funny to me, right? Like a lot of the clips that I see online, like they're funny, right? And as a 23-year-old man, I'm able to see that, and I'm able to kind of dissect that a lot of what he says is a joke, right? He's very, he has this attitude and this character that he puts on in front of the camera that is, you know, that's funny, right, to me. And I know he's funny to a lot of other people, but with him being funny, he tends to make jokes regarding not being a loser, can be very vulgar stuff, right? And whenever I see this type of stuff, it brings me back to whenever I was a young kid, right? Whenever I was 12, 13, and I think that this is one of the biggest problems with him, because I think that he says a lot of things that I can perceive as funny, but I am also, like I said, I'm an adult, right? I'm able to nitpick and understand that that's a joke, right? And so the problem that lies with him is that a lot of what he says when he's catering to a lot of young men, you know, everybody, especially young kids, have access to the internet nowadays, and not everybody is going to be able to tell that he's joking, right? And the problem that occurs when we dissect and dive into what he says is that he talks a lot about having, you know, a lot of money, like I said, having a high status, and I think a lot of men are going to take that in. And regarding what he says about women, you know, a lot of it, obviously, like he says, he plays it up to the camera, but a lot of what he says about women, they're funny to people like me, but to children and younger audiences who see that, they're not going to think the same way. So my camera just ran out of storage right there, but as I was saying, a lot of the things that he says in his videos, you know, I perceive as jokes, right? But a lot of younger audience and a lot of young men who are watching his videos are going to think that it's okay to treat women like how he says in a lot of his videos, which can be perceived as misogynistic and very against what I believe in. Thinking that it's okay to just like cheat on women, you know what I mean? Like sleep around with a bunch of women while dating someone, right? I don't really agree with that. I know he said that in a lot of his videos, and a lot of the times when he says stuff like that, I kind of laugh because I think it's funny. You know, I see the comedy in it, but like I said before, to a younger, impressionable audience, I think that they're not going to understand that he's joking, right? So they're going to take it seriously, and they're going to think that treating women like that is okay. And that's where I have a problem with it. And that's where I have a problem with some of the things that he says, right? I obviously understand that he is all about attention, right? He's all about gaining attention for himself, right? And a lot of the times that comes with a lot of backlash, right? Which he's gotten. And that is where I would say that some of the stuff that he says can be, you know, dangerous to an impressionable young mind. Me saying this, it brings me back to whenever I was 11 or 12 and I started watching YouTube videos, right? I used to watch a lot of pickup artists, you know what I mean, who would literally pay actresses to partake in the videos that they would record. It's not real, you know what I mean? So when these guys would hire these artists, you know, they would touch them and they would just say things that they would make the video look very much like this woman was very attracted to this person just by asking them a few questions. And that's not, you know, the reality of the situation, right? That's not what happens a lot of the times when you're dealing with picking up women, you know? And so it brings me back to that whenever I think of the impressionable young kids who are watching his videos, right? And so that is my view on him as a whole. right? I think that there's a lot of good that he's doing, but I also think that a lot of what he says can be misperceived and it can be misjudged by a lot of people. Overall, do I think he should have his social media platforms taken from him? No. We have to understand that the internet is a very broad and vast thing, right? And so there's going to be videos that you aren't going to agree with. There's going to be things that people say that not everyone agrees with, right? And that is 100% okay. Like I said, that's the reason why I'm making this video, right? A lot of you guys who are watching this video aren't going to agree with what I said, but that is okay, you know, and it's not going to stop me from making this video, because I wanted to give my thoughts and my take on Andrew Tate, because I think that he is a very interesting person, and I think that there is a lot of things that he is doing that can help people, but I also think that there's a lot of things that he is doing that can hurt people. And so the main thing that I want you guys to take away from this video is always question everything that you see online, right? Because a lot of the times the stuff that you see online, not all of it is 100% as it seems, right? And Andrew Tate is an example of somebody who says a lot of things, but he doesn't necessarily mean everything that he says, and you can tell in the satire that he uses within his videos. And so that's the main thing that I want you guys to take from this video. Use discernment, start meditating, start opening up your third eye to understand that not everything that people says they mean 100%. And that's the great thing about the internet, is that you can say a lot of things nowadays, right? It's such a broad and vast vessel that can be used for good, and that is why I'm grateful that I am on here and that I promote positivity, wellness, spirituality, and just overall self-improvement, because I think it's important to better your life, right? To live a life that is fulfilling, that is prosperous, that is abundant, and to not necessarily take everything that everybody says literally. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. I really enjoyed making this video. The support that I've been getting on my videos has been amazing. The amount of growth that I've seen on my channel just within this past month has been outstanding. I'm so grateful that I am able to do this for a living and record videos for you guys that inspires you to live your best life. And it really just makes my heart warm to know that I am changing people's lives by doing what I love. And I want you guys to know that you can as well. You just have to tap into your passions. And so with all that being said, guys, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you have any video recommendations for any topics that you want me to talk about, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. I will respond. If you don't have any video recommendations that you want to leave in the comment section, you can also shoot me a DM on Instagram. Or if you just want to say hi, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram as well. My DMs are open at the moment. Check in with me. But with all that being said, my friends, have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or night wherever you're at. And peace, love, and happiness. Mwah.